Hey y'all, it's Melinda, and I'm so glad that you're back for another episode of The Greenhouse. Today I'm sitting in my son's house. It's vacant, and outside it's raining. It's so dreary. It's the kind of day that makes everything feel a little heavier than it already is. And I have a few appointments to show his house today. We're trying to find someone that will rent it and care for it in the same way that he has. Waiting for someone to walk through the door and imagine their life in these rooms. You see, my son chose this floor plan. He chose the colors of the wall. Every piece that went into this house, he selected it. And even more than that, him and his dad built it. They acted as a general contractor. They did so much of the work themselves. I'm very proud of this house. To me, it's so much more than just a structure. It's a dream. It's a father and son working together. And as my son has started his military career, he's not here. And for the better part of a while, this house has sat empty. Of course, my husband and I have tended to it. We've made sure that the plumbing works. But I believe that a house needs people in it. It needs life. So after asking my son and his wife several times over the course of the last year or so to let me rent it, both had been particularly hesitant, not because they didn't want to rent it necessarily. There were a number of reasons that they didn't want to rent it. But the one that I kept circling back to was that they didn't want to put that pressure on me. They didn't want to add that responsibility. But insistent as I was that I would rather have someone living in the home, have someone taking care of it, someone using the plumbing, someone taking advantage of the beautiful porches that were built, the kitchen that just screamed for someone to bake cookies, made me happier than having this house sit vacant. So we agreed that I would rent it for them. We would open an account, I would deposit the money, and it would put a little money aside for them, for their future. And I would continue to take care of the home, just maybe have fewer trips to the house than I was currently having. But there's this particular quiet in this house today. Not having the furniture or my grandpups in the corner. No sounds from any of the other rooms. Just empty spaces where their life and memories used to live out loud. I've been here a few times now with potential renters, and each time I feel it, and it really tugs at me. This stillness is asking something from you, asking you to remember what was here and honor it, but also asking you to let it be something different now. So I am trying to choose the best possible tenants for them, people who will love and care for this home in the same way that they have. Letting strangers walk through rooms that held their life feels weirdly intimate and sad at the same time. There's this grief that's tucked inside of these walls that I'm hoping new renters will find and bring joy and make the house a home again. So we're finding a renter, someone who will take care of this, and some new family can build their own beginning or middle here. So right now, I'm in between. I'm showing a house that has closed my son and his wife's story and allowing it to open another story. And I think it's ironic, funny in an ironic way, the things that life puts side by side to teach you something. Because while I've been sitting in this empty house, listening to the rain outside, my own car has been trying to teach me something almost identical. A couple of months ago, I bought a new car. My old one wasn't very old. It was just a few years old, and it had fewer than 50,000 miles on it. It had all of the bells and whistles, and I loved that vehicle. But, you see, I had gotten an oil change, and that oil change went sideways, and the car ended up needing an engine replacement. And we replaced the engine, but every single time there was any hiccup or stutter or anything with the car, I found myself struggling to trust it, feeling like I couldn't get to where I needed to go. You know, I had, as sort of an aside, signed up for roadside membership just to make sure if anything happened again that I would be covered as an insurance policy. And it stuttered on me a couple of weeks ago, and I had this moment of deja vu and just said, I can't do this again. I can't trust this vehicle, even with the roadside assistance. What if it happened on an isolate or deserted road somewhere where it would take a long time to get help? I took a couple of road trips a year, and the thought of breaking down by myself on one of these road trips made it just a little bit more than I could bear. So I traded it in. But before I traded it in, as sort of an aside to that, there was a crack in the windshield that had spanned the entire width of the windshield. And I was going to have that replaced soon. So when the car started to hesitate, coupled with the looming task of replacing the windshield, I traded it in. I traded it on a new car. And I drove off that new car lot feeling like I had dodged a bullet. I had gotten rid of the vehicle that I didn't trust anymore. And I'd saved myself several $100s, practically another month's car payment, by not having to replace that windshield. So I truly felt like I had avoided an expense. So about 2 weeks into having my new car, I was driving out of our neighborhood, and I live in a rural area, and there is an asphalt plant near me, so there are always rocks or sand that hit our windshields or our vehicles pretty often. And after all the rain that we've had, a lot of that silt, if you will, has washed onto the roadside. So a couple of days later, I heard something, but I didn't see anything. So I just assumed that a rock had been kicked up and had hit the paint. So I let it go and didn't give it another thought. But a few days after that, it had stopped raining, and we'd gotten the first of our first heat wave. And I had driven out to my son's house that morning to take photos for the listing. And when I came out of the house and got back in the car to leave, there it was, a crack starting on the driver's side that was already traveling about 5 to 6 inches just above my line of sight. And I knew, here we go again. I was going to have to replace this windshield. The same expense that I thought I had avoided just a few weeks before. And I could feel my face redden. I could feel my temper starting to rise. And all of those troublesome thoughts. I started to spiral. Here's what you get, I told myself. You should have just fixed the old windshield instead of trading the whole car in. You acted too rashly. You don't even deserve nice things. Look, you can't even take care of them. And the the sentences and the story I started telling myself was going on and on and on. But because I'm learning, I stopped myself right there. As soon as I recognized what I was doing, that voice, that the one that turns an accident or a struggle into punishment, the one that tells you that anything broken must mean that you've done something wrong, or anything that doesn't come easily to you, you're not meant to have it. But you see, I had to remind myself, that crack, it wasn't karma. It wasn't bad luck circling back to find me. It was a rock on a road on an ordinary day in the middle of me living my life. And something happened while I was. So here's what I keep coming back to. This house sitting empty and that crack spreading slowly across my windshield, they're not the same thing. But what they're trying to teach is you have to let something go. One was a door that my son and his wife hadn't been ready to close until they were. And the other, well, it was forced on me by a rock I didn't even see coming. Sometimes we get to choose the moment that we release something. Other times, the moment it chooses us. And what's left is for us to decide, how do you respond to it? Both of them are still expansion. My son closing this door, allowing another family to make a home in his vacant house. Expansion, opening up space for someone else. For me, that crack, identifying that it was not a punishment. It was just something that happened in the course of an ordinary life, but reminding me that maybe growth happens even when we don't want it to. Still don't want that rock to have cracked my windshield. I don't get to choose that. Life often does that to us. It forces us to expand, to change. It's not punishment. It's expansion. It's letting something in, letting ourselves grow, stretch, reach. A house, it doesn't stay frozen as a memory forever and still serve anyone. A windshield, it doesn't stay sealed against the world without eventually meeting it, whether it be a bug or a rock. And well, neither do we. The things that we hold on to, even the good things, even the things that help to build us, make us who we are today, sometimes they're meant to crack wide open so something else can move in, so something can move through, so something can expand and grow. So tomorrow, I'll call around and I'll get quotes on a new windshield, and I'll get it replaced or I'll get it fixed. And I'm going to keep loving this car. I'm going to keep driving her. You see, she's this gorgeous black on black. And I've even named her. Her name is Noir Velvet. Think like an old noir video. Black and white, luxury velvet. And of course a nod to Queen Noor of Jordan, because my car, she's regal like that. And even with that crack or that flaw running through her, she's just as special and just as worthy. So I want you to look at the parts of your life that are sitting vacant, that might need a little work, that are asking you for care. The chapters you've closed but haven't let anyone walk through yet. And I want you to look at the parts that are cracking deeply, whether you asked for it or not. Maybe changes that found you or the other way around. Neither one means something is wrong with you. It just means it's time to let what was becomes what can be or something new. You deserve whatever's on the other side of that. It doesn't have to be big. It can be something as simple as 5 minutes of sun on your face. Or it can be handing someone the keys to a house your heart built. Until next time, I'll be right here waiting for you in the greenhouse. Thanks, everybody, and have a great day.